Hey everybody, this is Petey from the Spinner Rack, and we also have
Calvin Ellis, ready to rock.
K Cal. What do you got to say?
All right. Well, some time ago, it was a video came out. Michael Jai White put his foot in his mouth, said that he could beat Bruce Lee in a fight. He then got a fault. Well, one, he was foolish because he went on Vlad. Don't go on Vlad. Vlad makes people say stupid stuff for some reason. I don't know what he does, what he puts in the tea. You go on Vlad, you end up making dumb comments. So he walked it back. He was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry I said that," and so on. But then he continued to go on other shows. And it was like because of his size, bone structure, and all this other type of stuff, height, weight, reach, that he believes that he could beat Bruce Lee in a fight. So I was like, okay. However, this always percolated in my mind, and I said, okay, well, could Michael Jai White actually have beaten Bruce Lee in a fight? All right. It's obvious if you look at Michael Jai White, what he's bringing to the ring in terms of being a fighter. But I think a lot of people don't realize what Bruce Lee would be bringing to the ring in terms of fighting against Michael Jai White. There's a new book coming out. It's called Wrath of the Dragon. And these are the real fights of Bruce, where again, these aren't tournament matches, these are sparring matches where there's no point system or anything of that nature, but it's pretty easy to tell who gets the better of who in a sparring match. And the book is detailed with these type of matches, other things that weren't point system fights, which is where a lot of people want to knock Bruce at the end of the day, saying, "Oh, he never got in the ring, uh, he never contended in that particular way." So I looked at that, I was like reading through it, and then I remembered his first student. Uh, have you ever heard of his first student?
Who's that?
Man, I was hoping you would remember. No, 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 no. I'm kidding. His first student when he came, pardon me, excuse me. His first student when he came to the States, if I remember correctly, is a guy by the name of Jesse Glover, who was also he was a judoka, and he was undefeated. He was undefeated as judoka for 14 straight years. So he won the championship for 14 straight years at the end of the day. But he was Bruce Lee's first student, and it's said, at least the guy who wrote the book Wrath of the Dragon says that Jesse Glover had probably absorbed the most from Bruce Lee in terms of Chinese martial arts, not the Jeet Kune Do stuff, okay, but Chinese martial arts at least at that point. He had wanted to teach. Bruce never authorized him to teach. I know he did. I don't know if he taught the stuff. That Bruce said, look, that stuff, no, that stuff is off limits for you, whatever it may be. But they did put down, Jesse Glover did have some statistics that I had forgotten about. And this is in terms of Bruce Lee's punching strength, kick strength, and his overall speed. Now, have you ever timed yourself on a punch, Sam?
Nope.
Okay. Well, when I was still doing matches, I got my punches timed. My best speed ever was 8 punches in 1 second, which would be like 0.125, 125th of a second. Really fast. Okay, really fast at that point. Bruce Lee's best time in terms of a punch, 0.05, which means as fast as I was throwing, he would still be throwing faster than I was. That means by the time he hit me, my brain would be registering that he threw the punch. So there's a speed. In terms of overall strength, documented guys bigger than him that Bruce Lee was strong. You felt the punch. He fought Bolo, and when Bolo got the punch hit, and he was not ready for it to the point that he just waved Bruce off and said, "No, no, 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 we're good. No more fighting. I gotta, react to this punch right over here." And probably the most lethal in his arsenal, his sidekick, which was strong enough. You remember Ryan O'Neal?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan O'Neal, love song. Ryan O'Neal was Golden Gloves. Okay, he was Golden Gloves, professional fighter. He got into a sparring match with Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee didn't give him a sidekick through the sparring match, of course, but he decided he would do a demonstration. They got up the shield, the padded shield. Bruce kicked him. He kicked him into his trailer, and it's speculated that Ryan O'Neal's back problems began that day that Bruce kicked him. He had a really powerful kick. So between the speed, the strength, okay, and the kick, I don't believe Michael Jai White would have been able to beat him. He would not have been able to contend with Bruce's speed. Bruce is trained, both of these guys trained, but I would definitely give the superior training to Bruce Lee. So he would have been able to, oh, that's the other thing I forgot. While his punching speed was that quick, like 0.05,
Hmm.
is he had the ability to close the gap in punch, and I believe it was timed at like 0.008. So that means he could get to you quick enough and land a punch where you would still have a hard time defending. And so, Michael Jai White's, premise is that he's bigger, gonna be stronger. No, not necessarily. Bruce had, without a doubt, he would have had the advantage in speed. He would have punched, and Michael Jai White would have known that he was punched. Or if he was able to get one of those kicks off, it would have definitely let this guy realize, hey, this is real. This guy may be of slighter stature, slighter build, okay, but size isn't strength, as most of us realize when you get into the ring. So that's some stuff for all you guys out there like me, Bruce Lee aficionados. I don't think Michael Jai White could have contended with him. The speed would have been Bruce Lee's, and once Bruce would have been able to close the gap, he would have lit him up with a good punch, got a good kick on him, and Michael Jai White would have been thinking it over like, man, and he would have put his foot right back in his mouth and just shut up.
Mm. Well, ultimately, as for me, you know, I would just say that I think as a person who probably got into it before, whatever it may be, maybe it's Bruce, however he got into fighting, I think there's a line of respect. And not to say, hey, I'm respecting them, to say, I think he would win against me type of respect, saying, hey, do what everyone else has said. Like, respect the person who probably got this martial arts to its biggest light. To say this person is still, people have posters up on the wall. The stuff that he's done. Who knows what he would have been able to do as far as a filmmaker? How much he was going to bring to this. So when you get to this, versus battle, it's trying to say who can we disregard, and Michael Jai White, Quentin Tarantino, was it Vic Moore, like all these people are trying to tell you, hey, don't look at them, look at me, look at my fictional Tarantino, like look at my fictional character. He would have been able to beat. Look at Michael Jai. Look at me. It's like we don't see the fights that you've had with boxers that are either in your weight class or bigger. We don't see that stuff. Why? Because it's being respectful to the boxers to say I'm an actor. I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting in the regular ring with the what's the name. And then there's people that I think there's a black dude that's been chasing Michael Jai White, not to fight, but say, hey, look at my size and look at you. It would be a great movie. And he's like, I think the guy said that Michael Jai White was saying, well, ultimately they don't really want to see two black people fight, that sort of thing. And it's like, and then at some point, it's like, you know what? Now I'm chasing them down to do a movie with them because there's no good reason why not to. So it's like that sort of thing where it's like that person's trying to show you respect, saying, hey, I'm a person that you could basically beat up in a movie. He's like, no, that type of thing. So ultimately, there's a respect factor that should be there, in my opinion. And respect as far as this is a person who, comic books took his likeness and used it for Master Kung Fu, where it slowly shifted over that way. And, and this thing which was described as keeping Bruce alive, right? And that's where you get the Bruce Lies and some of the joke movies and that sort of thing. And then the movies of the retelling of him and that sort of thing. That's what you want to do. You want to respect the person that brought started the fire going very brightly, like not in the sense of, oh, he's the one who created it. No, he's the one that gave someone, like the same way, the effect of way Eddie Murphy did in terms of comedy, where a lot of black people might have wanted to be, and a lot of comedians wanted to be Richard Pryor, and a lot of black people wanted to be Richard Pryor. Everybody wanted to be Eddie Murphy. And that's the thing where it's like I don't think he'd be good. I don't think it would work anymore. This, that, and the other. It's like the lightning in the bottle that led to movies, to all this other stuff, led to him to be what he became. Bruce is beyond that. You can see monetarily Eddie Murphy is that, and you see that as success. But that this sort of image of Bruce is just too big to defeat. So it's just you're wasting your time, and it's just like I think my last statement is when Jay Z was saying, "Hey," someone asked Jay Z the nutty thing because Biggie's his friend, saying, "Hey, how does it feel that you know you'll never know if you're better than Biggie now that he's passed?" And yeah, it's kind of tough. And Nas was like, Biggie's your man. Now you got the nerve to say that you're better than Big. Cut that line out. Let the late great veteran live. Like that's the thing. He's not here to defend himself. Don't play the dumb game of verses. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm a fan, Michael Jai, but it's just not cool. Stay away from that. Don't do that anymore. And they're asking you, they're not interested in you anymore. They're only interested in hearing you talk about Bruce. And you go to another thing and say, well, I'm this weight class. I fought all these people. They don't care about you. Move on. Any other things you got to say?
Well, just remind that Bruce Lee would have taken Michael Jai White. He started this by saying this particular nonsense. I'm just putting down these particular facts. While you were doing that, I remembered that his kick speed was faster. It was 0.3. So he could have bridged the gap, hit or kicked him, okay, and delivered, I would have presumed maybe like 100 kilograms of force with the punch just from the foot of the knuckle area, which would have been hit like being hit by a train, getting started up. So that was your fault. You talk smack. You shouldn't have said that. You had a chance to back down. You decided you were going to go. You were going to go for the easy gravy. Timac was on with Vlad, and he handled it much better. He said, "Why would I want to fight my hero?" He's like, "No." Everybody else seems to understand that the only reason why we came to this is because of a guy named Bruce Lee. That's it. And I totally agree with you on the part of respect. But hey, with disrespectful, you can't beat him in a fight. You would have never beat him in a fight. He was too fast, too strong, too well trained. Okay, that's pretty much the end of it. And if you still take the opportunity to be respectful, I think everybody would be a lot more embracing. And again, I'm pretty certain Michael Jai White. I mean, well, Michael Jai White is 6'1", same height as Ryan O'Neal, and Ryan O'Neal sparred with Bruce Lee, and he couldn't put a hand on him. Ryan O'Neal outweighed him, and Ryan O'Neal, this is a professional fighter. He's Golden Gloves. I don't know if Michael Jai White has ever, achieved any sort of championship like that, but this guy is a professional fighter, been in the ring, sparred with Bruce Lee, couldn't get a hand on him, realized that what Bruce was bringing to the table was legit because Ryan O'Neal was pretty much down. He thought, martial arts was like the stuff you see in the movie with the ha, chop, karate chop. He didn't think, he was just totally dismissive of it. And after he meets Bruce Lee, he understands, oh, okay, this is what it's actually about. Michael Jai White should just know better. Should just know better. But I was glad for the book coming out because it reminded me of some stats and some statistics and not just this whole throwaway thing. Bruce Lee, the greatest exponent of martial arts, 20th century. For me personally, greatest of all time because without him, would have never got involved into the arts. And like most of us, and like you just said, respect. Okay, you owe him respect. All right, because the bottom line is you would not even be in it if it was not for him. So all of that other type of stuff, yeah, in your heart you may feel, oh yeah, I can do this. Respect to Master Lee is always supposed to be the first thing, always. All right. Hope you learned something out there. Hope you learned something.
Okay, Spinner Rack
We're out.
out.